Much has been made about playing on an island as a quarterback, and in fact, a guy made his whole name and aura just off of that alone. But being on an island, is that really what man coverage is all about? We're going to talk about that today on DB Tip Clips. What's up, defenders? It's Chad Wilson from All Eyes DB Camp and author of 101 DB Tips. And today we're going to dive into a talk about you don't have to do it all by yourself, even when you're in man coverage. But before we get into this, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What is the one coverage where you feel the most vulnerable on an island and why? Tell me the coverage and the route that keeps you up at night. I'll be jumping in to reply as many as I can. Now, we all know that when you deal with playing defensive back, you're primarily judged, evaluated, and valued by the masses based on one thing. That's your ability to provide lockdown coverage. Think about it. If you can't cover, what are you worth as a DB anyway? That would be like a quarterback who can't throw. But here's the problem. With all that pressure to be glued to a wide receiver's hips everywhere he goes, some defensive backs get themselves into hot water. They start thinking that they have to cover a wide receiver on an entire play all by themselves. Once that thought process enters your head, you and your defense are dead. Football is the ultimate team game, and that includes playing man-to-man coverage. In my book, 101 DB Tips, I talk about the technical side of this, but today I want to talk about the mental side. Too many defensive backs ignore the details of coverage the moment they hear it's man. In their eyes, man means stopping the receiver from going anywhere on the field at any time, but that's just not the case. In most man coverages, you can get assistance from another defender if you're smart enough to use it. For instance, cover one features help in the middle of the field from the free safety. Two-man involves help deep on the hashes by both safeties. The selfish defenders, the guys who aren't seeing the big picture, are the ones who give up their outside leverage down the field or get beat on corner routes in cover one. Others will play over the top of receivers in two-man only to have the short routes completed on them when they should have been underneath. They forget they have safety help over the top. Some of the best man-to-man defenders to ever play this game understood one thing: leverage and help. Getting help from a teammate doesn't make you soft, weak, or no good. But getting beat repeatedly in areas where no help exists, that will get you called an idiot, and eventually it'll get you sent to the sidelines to watch from there. Unfortunately, this loner mentality doesn't just stop with man coverage. Some guys play zone with that same mindset. Every defense called has a weakness, and every zone has its holes. When you truly understand this, you can become an elite defender. The truth is, on a 53-yard wide field with only 11 defenders, and usually no more than 7 or 8 in coverage, you're not going to cover everything. When greedy defenders ignore that fact, they get baited into areas of the field that were meant to be left bare. This starts a chain of events where a defender gets pulled out of the zone and gives up a big play in an area that was supposed to be covered. So here's the moral of the story. First, acquire a total understanding of the defense. Just knowing your job isn't enough. You have to dig deep into what the defensive coordinator is trying to accomplish when that play is called. We do deep dive film sessions on this exact topic inside the All Eyes DB Camp members area so you can see the concepts in action. Second, don't be a greedy player. If you look crazy, it would look crazy if you're the only person in the huddle while the offense had 11 guys. So don't act like you're the only person on the field for your team once the ball is snapped. Everyone has a job to do. It really works out well when everybody does their 111. Team defense is the best defense, and ironically, that's exactly what allows you to shine in the end. All right, that's it for me, but if you haven't answered that question from the beginning yet, get down to the comments right now. Which coverage makes you feel the most exposed? Also, before you leave, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. And I've already spoken about two of the biggest assets that can help you become the best DB that you can be. First is the book 101 DB Tips, chock full of information on all types of things, covering in the slot, covering at safety, covering in man, covering in zone, training in the offseason, watching film. It's all covered right in this book with 101 of the best tips you'll ever get. If you get the soft cover version, you even have 100 passing terms that you need to know in the back of the book. Also, the All Eyes DB Camp members area has over 300 posts on all types of things that you would want to see, whether that's catch technique, scooch technique, press man techniques. We talk about coverages in there. There's quizzes, just about everything that you need. A combination of the book and the All Eyes DB Camp members area, and you can get your PhD in coverology. So take a look at both of those things. I'll have a link to them down in the description below. Of course, you can hit the All Eyes DB Camp shop, because while you're playing good, you want to look good too. Link to that down in the description below as well. All right, that's it for me. I'm out. And as always, All Eyes DB Camp. Consistency breeds results.